MSI GeForce RTX 2080 Super Gaming X Trio Opinion. NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 2080 Super is available in both Founders Edition and custom design variants. While it seems surprising at first that NVIDIA is releasing a new model in a market segment that they have zero competition in, it makes sense if you take a closer look at their product stack. In order to counter AMD's Navi-based Radeon RX 5700 series, NVIDIA released the Super Refresh of Turing, which offers faster variants of RTX 2060 and RTX 2070. Unlike the original RTX 2070, the RTX 2070 Super is based on the TU104 graphics processor, which is the same chip that powers the RTX 2080 lineup. This jump in performance shrunk the gap between RTX 2070 and RTX 2080, which makes the original RTX 2080 less attractive to potential buyers, especially at its current price point. That's why NVIDIA is giving the RTX 2080 the +1 treatment, too. RTX 2080 Super is based on the same TU104 GPU that powers the RTX 2080, but uses all shaders available in the silicon. NVIDIA is also bumping up their memory clocks to 15.5 Gbps, which helps with performance too. MSI's RTX 2080 Super Gaming X Trio comes with a sizable overclock out of the box, to a rated boost clock of 1845 MHz, or 30 MHz higher than the Founders Edition. Overall, when averaged over our benchmarks at 4K resolution, this results in only a 3% performance improvement over the NVIDIA reference, not a lot to be honest. The RTX 2080 Super Gaming X Trio is 10% faster than the original RTX 2080, which widens the gap to RTX 2070 Super to 19%, restoring the balance in this market segment. NVIDIA's flagship, the RTX 2080 Ti, is 15% faster than the RTX 2080 Super. AMD's fastest, the now end-of-life Radeon 7, is 17% behind, and the new Navi-based RX 5700 XT is 26% slower, not even close. Performance numbers of RTX 2080 Super are good. The higher FPS rates definitely help improve the gaming experience at 4K. While not a 4K 60 max details card, it is good enough for solid 4K gaming with decent frame rates, if you are willing to sacrifice some details settings, depending on the game. Its high performance will also help gamers looking to drive a high refresh rate monitor beyond 60 Hz, on 1440p, with highest details. MSI is reusing the PCB and cooler design of their RTX 2080 Gaming X Trio, which is a perfectly fine choice. Unlike the Founders Edition, the card uses a large triple-slot, triple-fan cooler, which not only improves temperatures considerably, it also lowers noise levels a lot. With only 32 dB, the card will be very quiet, even when you're playing 4K titles all day. Impressive. What MSI also included with their card is the idle fan stop feature, which shuts off the card's fans completely in idle, productivity and light gaming. Just like on all other Turing cards, power efficiency of RTX 2080 Super is excellent. It's a bit sad to see that MSI did not increase their card's power limit beyond Founders Edition levels, both card max at 250 W. A higher board power limit would have helped gain some additional performance, because NVIDIA's boost algorithm would automatically boost the clocks higher, for longer. This comes at the price of higher heat output though, so I can understand MSI's approach, too. The power limiter does complicate overclocking a bit, because you can no longer dial in the exact clocks you want to overclock to. Still, our manual overclocking tests show good results, leading to a 8.5% real-life performance improvement, more than expected. Especially the Samsung 16 Gbps GDDR6 memory chips overclock extremely well, reaching 2295 MHz in frequency, 18.4 Gbps. Wondering why NVIDIA chose to clock the cards at 15.5 Gbps, even though the memory chips themselves are guaranteed to run at 16 Gbps, I reached out to them and got the following response: this is related to the PCB design of the original 2080 board. On the 2080 Super we reach max stability at 15.5, while leaving some AUX headroom. Like all other NVIDIA RTX cards, the RTX 2080 Super includes support for ray tracing hardware acceleration. With only few titles so far, I'm not sure if it's the most important technology to have today, but I am convinced that NVIDIA with their close ties to developers will do everything they can to push forward this technology, which ultimately will result in an improvement in fidelity in games. Console makers Sony and Microsoft are also working on ray tracing for their next-gen hardware, which will definitely help adoption rates. 2. RTX 2080 Super has additional RT cores and higher performance overall, which will help cushion the performance hit from ray tracing. MSI is asking $740 for their RTX 2080 Super Gaming X Trio, a $40 increase over the Founders Edition, which doesn't seem unreasonable. Just performance alone won't justify the pricing. 6% more expensive, 3% performance gained. However, the much better cooler makes a big difference. Temperatures are lower and noise levels are excellent, and fan stop is included, too. But let's not kid ourselves, that's still a lot of money, but the options are limited. The Radeon 7 is end of life, the RTX 2070 Super is too slow for 4K, the original RTX 2080 has only marginally better price, performance and lacks the memory OC headroom of RTX 2080 Super, and the RTX 2080 Ti is probably too expensive for people with just $600 $800 to spend. RTX 2080 non-super pricing should drop a bit soon, because of it going end of life, so maybe a good deal can be found here in the near future. In order to offset the cost a little bit, and to show off the benefits of their RTX technology, Nvidia includes a 2-game bundle with all RTX Super cards consisting of Wolfenstein, Youngblood and Control, which both support ray tracing.